Hi, my name is Dominic Parker. I study and teach natural resource economics. So my research examines all of the major natural resources, ranging from minerals in Africa, wild salmon in Alaska, oil and gas in the American West, wind in the central United States, and even sand and groundwater here in Wisconsin. So most of my research really asks the same fundamental questions. These are: what determines how much societies and individuals benefit from their natural resources? When are natural resources a blessing? When are they a curse? And what can governments do to make resources more of a blessing? So getting the answers right can be critical. In some cases, even getting the answers right can mean life or death. My research on conflict minerals is an example. So conflict minerals, they're essential elements in manufacturing of consumer electronics such as flat screen TVs, cell phones, and laptops. And they're mined primarily in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. These minerals are widely considered a resource curse because rebel groups controlled some mining sites and used some of the revenue to buy guns and fuel violence. In response, the U.S. government included a provision in the 2010 Dodd-Frank Act to discourage major companies from sourcing their minerals from the Congo. So this led to a widespread boycott of minerals from Congo, and that had the intended consequence of reducing revenue for armed rebel groups. But the policy had the unintended consequence of reducing income that families depended on for health care and other provisions. According to the research I've done with colleagues here in the department, the effects were devastating on families. Villages that were close to boycotted mines had infant mortality rates go up. They more than doubled. We also found the legislation increased rather than decreased violence. Episodes of violence against civilians went up. They also more than doubled. While many things went wrong with this policy, and the situation is very complex, there's one major lesson here. And that lesson is it's important to know if natural resources are really a curse before policy treats them as if they are. The stakes for getting things right can be very high. Some of my other research delivers more positive insights in terms of identifying policies that help individuals and communities benefit more fully from their resources. For Alaskan salmon fishermen, for example, I found that policies allowing them to form voluntary cooperatives significantly improved both the economic and the ecological performance of the fishery. For farmers in the United States, I found that tax incentives for conservation easements have significantly improved the number of acres conserved, also providing financial benefits to landowners. For Native Americans on American Indian reservations, I found that tribal ownership of land and minerals has, at least in some cases, generated greater economic gains when compared to federal administration of tribal resources. So these are just a handful of examples from my research. Please visit my website for links to research projects and working papers for more information, and contact me if you have any questions. Thanks for your attention.